This week, we are starting the electrical and getting us some lights. We are repurposing the old latches to make new ones on the inside of the container, and I get to weld for the first time in years. And also got a not so fun spark burn. Don't forget to hit subscribe down below and let's get into it.
Well, Miss Molly, are you ready to get some power into our container workshop?
Very.
It has been kind of miserable not being able to turn on a light in there, hasn't it?
I know, I keep looking for lights and there's not any.
So we're gonna hop into a montage because I'm just dying to get this thing done, and I'm gonna knock this out. This is a very exciting and big moment for our container workshop build. For the last couple days, I've been creating a super simple, completely off-grid power solution for this container. I started by adding a piece of plywood near the door so that we could hang our sub panel on it. And I just bought a really inexpensive sub panel from the home center and mounted it directly to that piece of plywood. One big thing to note is that we're treating this panel as a sub panel. That means that the neutrals and the grounds are separate, and we're only gonna be using one bus bar of this sub panel, so it's only gonna be 120 volts going in. With that out of the way, I can start adding some outlets down the side of the container, and I did that with a little bit of flexible conduit as well as some rigid EMT metal conduit with metal boxes. Another thing to keep in mind, all this metal on metal, super important to keep things grounded. So throughout the entire system, everything is remaining grounded. I decided to only add a couple of outlets on this side of the container, and we're gonna figure out how many outlets later on the other side that we need and add those in as we figure out the best place for them. With that out of the way, we can move on to adding a switch box next to the sub panel. This is also right by the entry door. And then with that switch box in place, we could actually run some flexible EMT conduit up to the ceiling where there is another box that has an outlet in it, and that switch is simply going to turn that outlet on and off. That way we can very easily add our lights in. Speaking of lights, I added in some 1x3 wood strips down the center of the container. And again, I'm only doing this one half of the container for now, and we'll do the other half once we get it cleaned up. With those in place, I could go ahead and screw in the mounting clips for the LED lights that we really like to use, which I'll leave a link to those in the description. We've used them in all of our shops. And with those in place, we could simply clip the lights in and add some connectors to connect all of them together. And when they get back to the outlet on the end, you simply plug them in, and now the light switch controls that whole line of lights. Now we have to get power to the actual sub panel, and I did that using a 30 amp RV extension cord with the end cut off and fed into the sub panel and connected in the exact same way if you were actually connected to the grid. And finally, to power this entire system, thanks to today's sponsor, BLUETTI, we have their brand spanking new AC 240 as well as an expansion battery that is going to give us more than enough power. And we're gonna be putting this thing through the paces today using a welder, grinder, and all sorts of things to finish out the doors on the container. The AC240 has an impressive AC output of 2400 watts or up to 3600 watts if you put it into power lifting mode. It has a power capacity of 1536 watt hours, and one of my favorite parts is that it has super fast AC charging with up to 2400 watts of AC input, which equals about 80% in just 45 minutes or a full charge in 70 minutes. You can also put in up to 1200 watts of solar input, which equals a full charge in just 2 hours on solar. If you need even more power output, you can actually connect two of these AC240s together and double their power output, even in powerlifting mode, up to 7,200 watts. The voltage remains the same, but the power doubles. This is the world's first IP65 rated outdoor portable power station, which is going to give you awesome water and dust resistance, making it not only great for camping and hanging around outside, but also even taking on boats and using in dusty environments like a wood shop. Oh goodness. Get in that box. Get that box. Uh-oh. You getting it too, May? Oh, everybody look out. Uh-oh, the inspector showed up. Molly, do I pass my electrical inspection?
I mean, I think
Come up on in here, I can't see you. What you think about our first ever off-grid power setup system thing?
I like it. This is gonna be perfect.
Yeah, I think so. I think that, you know, we don't have a ton of stuff that we need to do in here. We just really want to be able to walk in, turn on some lights, and be able to use some power tools when we need to in here. And well, like I said, eventually run power and other things that we need to the other side of the container. But it's a hot mess and we need to clean it up and get some storage stuff over there, and then we'll have a better idea of like where outlets and things could be useful over there.
This thing's gonna be wide open once shelves get built back there.
I'm also thinking that we should wire in a fan.
Yes.
Over there, because with the doors open down here and a nice cross breeze through this, it's going to be nice basically any time of the year.
Yeah. Well, just thinking it'd be so good just to unhook it from here and take it camping.
Yeah, that's the super benefit, is just unplug and go. So Molly and I hope to one day make ourselves a camper, and this setup's going to be perfect. Unplug, take with us. Also, we have a ton of hurricanes here, so not only is this like a good hurricane shelter if it was bad enough, but also we lose power almost every single hurricane, sometimes for days in advance if it hits us directly. And so having a place set up to where we can come out here and at least be comfortable, right, and sleep and have some lights at night, you know,
and a fan, and
be really nice. So our goal is to keep this end of the container wide open as flex space to be able to use as we need it, and that end to be storage. But the proof's in the pudding, so we're about to put this thing to the test, and we're gonna fire up the welder and weld on some latches based on all y'all's suggestions in the comments from last week's video. See if this system can handle it and finish up these doors. There were a ton of good comments about various ways you could go about doing this, but the most common one was to use a latch on here, which I think is also probably one of the best ways to do it. Then I saw one that said, why don't you just use the handle that came off the existing one? Well, duh, that's an awesome way. So plan is to weld that like this, and then weld this plate like that. Something like that. And then we'll have a barrel bolt on this side. So this door will be like our fixed door. And actually, I gotta make sure we do that right. It's gotta be up so that thing can, I think it's gonna work.
How do you close it though? How do you pull it tight?
So you'll pull this one.
How?
With this door open.
Oh.
Bolt it. Then we might need to put a handle on this somewhere. So you can pull it and close this. Put a handle down here. All right, the grinder worked no problem, plugged in. But now here comes the real test. About to plug in a welder. Also, what we're welding is some sort of Chinese galvanized, who know what type of coating on it stuff, so a respirator is an absolute must. All right, welding, no go. I probably could have made it seem like it would weld by turning the settings just way down and letting it run, but at the thickness of steel we have here and the settings that I'd like to use on our machine, which is a bit more of a power hungry machine, it doesn't like it. So not gonna work for welding heavy steel at all, but I do think if you were welding a lot thinner stuff, it would actually probably weld, but I'm not gonna make it look like that in this video. I'm gonna see if I can convince Molly to finish up the welding. Let's go find out. How you doing?
Okay.
Hey, you want to finish up the welding?
You trust me enough?
There ain't no trust involved in this, honey. You got this.
No.
It's been a while since you welded.
It's been a very long time.
I think you could do it.
All this for my one little weld, huh?
Uh-oh.
I feel like one of those old-timey scuba divers in this stuff.
Honey, is it even on your head?
I don't know. I can't because it's hitting everything.
It's hitting your bun. Alright, squish it down over your mask.
Huh?
Squish it down over your mask.
It is on.
Want me to go down over your mask? Yeah? Okay. There we go. Hey, just do like a half of an inch at the top and like half an inch at the bottom. I got my safety squints on.
I can't even like move my hands in here though. Ready?
Yep.
I'm not.
That's pretty good to me. Are you close enough? That's pretty good. That's actually not bad. You stayed vertical and everything.
Is it not too big?
No, it's perfect. Just do one more of those down here and you're done.
Oh.
Come on, what's so bad?
Bad.
Let's see. It's really not. You are stacking.
I know, I'm a little far away too. Ow. See? Why can't I see nothing?
You got it. Keep going. It's not a bad weld. You just got to stay more in that crease. You went a little fast on that one. Are you done?
Yeah. Oh God, I don't look.
That'll do just fine.
Oh, I tore a hole in my sock.
Goodness. I don't think we had the best ground. You did good, sister.
Did I?
Well, considering you haven't welded in, I genuinely don't know how long. And that's a vertical weld with a mask on and all sorts of stuff. That's not the easiest first time getting back into welding.
Well, it shows.
You did good, sweetheart. It may not look the best, but it's gonna work. That's all that matters.
I hope y'all enjoyed a little laugh today.
If you didn't catch our last video, Molly's actually pregnant. She's, in this video, gonna be probably 13 weeks?
12.
13 when they see it.
12.
13, I think.
12.
No, it's the week after.
Dylan.
Hold on. It's 11 this
almost
week.
be
It's
13.
11 this week. It'll be 12 when the video came out about you being pregnant. And then 1 week later, it's 13. You'll be 13.
No, I'll be almost 13.
Okay, you'll be you'll be 1 day less than 13.
2 days, but okay.
Okay, anyway, Molly is pregnant. If you didn't know and didn't catch the last video, you should absolutely go watch our last video if you haven't seen that one. However, Molly has not had the best of luck as of recently for pregnancy symptoms, so
Yeah, it's awful.
so she's been battling through it. Well, look at you, sweetie, out here welding.
Yeah, well, I just
12 weeks, 6 days pregnant.
threw up this morning, and I always feel better after I throw up.
All right, we're gonna put in a barrel bolt down here, but I don't think this is gonna weld very well, so I'm gonna use self-tapping screws instead. Except for I'm gonna help them out first. Also, it's a really good way to drill directly into your leg. I do not recommend this. Although I'm looking at like 6 inches and this bit's about 2 inches, so I think we're gonna be all right, but yeah. Well, I've been working on Mabel's off-leash abilities, training her a little bit. She's come a long way, and we're gonna go see if we can't find a stick or something unique we can use to create a handle for the container doors. Let's see how good she does. Mabel, come. Oh, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. Come on, all the way. Oh, that's a good girl. Yeah, you're doing so good. Doing so good, huh? Let's go see if we can find us a cool handle. Call your sister. Come on, Luna. Let's go see if we can find a handle. Come on. That could work. That one might do the trick there. Or this one. It's more of a longer handle. Kind of like this one. It's got a nice shape to it, and it's a little less dead and cracked than the other ones I've found so far. So let's take this one back and see what we can do with it. Ooh, it's nice and chilly in here. Let's turn this power supply on. Voila! I really love how simple of a setup this whole thing is, and really this entire project has just been like go with the flow, do whatever seems to be cool at the time, like not modeled out in SketchUp and not like using the best building materials on planet Earth and not using fancy tools and stuff, and I just love projects like this. It takes me back to the days when I grew fond of building, when I was just building forts and different things around the property with my friends and stuff, and that's really what this project has brought back. And Molly and I have been talking about it a lot, and how much we enjoy this sort of simple, just this super simple aspects of life that you could very easily skim over or get caught up in going fast and miss out on. It's very just good for your soul stuff, you know? Well, I think that looks pretty darn cool, and it was free, and I got to spend like 20 or 30 minutes just sitting down and relaxing, shaving it up with a knife, and yeah, it works great. All right, well, I'm going to spend the rest of my weekend hanging out with my 3 girls here. And if you guys enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, and I think you'll like this video that we have over here as well if you want to check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you later. Peace.